HorrorDeconstruction.
What's up, everybody? It's the HorrorDeconstruction. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but most likely on YouTube. Give us a like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon, hit that like button. Make people know you like the show. With that, I'm your host, Comp. For this month of October, we are doing 31 films in celebration of Halloween, and today's film is HAGAZUSSA, either a gothic folk tale or also a heathen's curse. This came out in 2017. Directed by Lucas Feigelfeld and written by Lucas Feigelfeld. Paranoia and Superstition in 15th Century Europe. What a description. In IMDb, that's what it says. Starring Alexandra Swen, Selena Peter, and Claudia Martini. So, I had heard good things about this film. The poster looked intriguing. It's this skull around some foliage, and then it's superimposed over these misty forests and the like. I had no idea what this is about. People compared it to The Witch, Robert Eggers' film, and I had seen The Witch, controversial opinion. I was not really into the film. I thought the acting was incredible. I thought the whole production design was great, but as a movie, I wasn't really into it. I was sort of a little bit bored until the very last half of it, so that must mean I'm a complete doofus. But either way, people like The Witch, so good for them. So I can see why people compare this film to that. So HAGAZUSSA entails this young woman who is ostracized in her own community for being a little bit strange. It actually starts about 15 years earlier, where this woman is with her child, and you see the tough lifestyle that these people are living. It's in 4 different chapters, and they're living in the Alps in the 15th century. And so we see it's a very slow film. It's a very, very slow film, and it's like showing how rough life was back then. Obviously, we've got it pretty much good for back then compared to back then, and we don't know necessarily if these women are witches or what they do, but they must obviously not practice whatever is the religion that most of them practice. They probably practice more old world beliefs, just in the way that everybody else treats them in the hood, so to speak. So anyway, the first section of the film is pretty long, and it cuts off, and we jump 15 years to the future, or the whatever present in the 15th century Alps, and we have the main character, who is Albrun, this young girl, and you can see people treat her like she's weird. She seems a little bit mute. She doesn't talk that much in this film. I don't even remember if she does talk at all. But a lot of people treat her like crap in this movie. They just look at her like she's a witch, like she's a heathen, obviously, like in one of the alternate subtitles for the film. I was waiting for something to happen. Not that I have an issue with slow-moving films. I like slow-moving films. I have nothing against those type of films. I think it's with this. It seems like there's a lot of nothing going on in this film, and I think it's supposed to feel grand and feel dark and feel weird, but to me necessarily there was nothing in it that felt any different from anything else. What we see though, it's like a Carrie level of intimidation with this young woman. There's an assault that happens out of nowhere. Scumbag people just live in this whole area. I did like a bit of her revenge was pretty cool. But she also has a baby, and she, just every 5 seconds, you're like, why are you leaving this baby alone? Like, obviously, they didn't have babysitters back then on call or Uber or anything like that. So it really is a slow-moving film about this woman in the Alps, and there's nothing really supernatural in the film. It's more like, towards the end, but that's also like drug-induced psychosis that happens later on in the film. So it really is more a film about visual flair and taste. I thought the best thing in the film for me is the soundtrack. It sounded like death metal, or some sort of European metal, like the intros of like one of those death metal songs, like anything that you can hear in black metal and stuff like that. That's basically, it was like a hardcore sort of like, not like you hear riffs every 5 seconds, but it sounded like the breakdown in the middle of a death metal song or black metal song. And I guess it's appropriate, for that's where these people come from that make this music. But there's not much I can say about this film because I don't really want to spoil it. But there's not much to spoil it because if you just say one plot point, that completely spoils what happens in the film because not much happens in this film. It's essentially a cycle of life and death and I guess unchecked mental illness in the 15th century. It's not a super depressing film, although it is like a bummer of a film because it's just watching people live in these shitty times and it's just suffering and then people just taking advantage of this main character and her I guess getting her vengeance is pretty cool, but then you're just like shitting bricks about that poor baby that she's taking care of and what's gonna happen to it. I don't know, I didn't connect with it. I appreciate the look of the film. I appreciate the music for the film. The acting was good. There's a little bit over the top stuff with one of the assaulters in it, or a woman who condones assaulting, which was very strange. But I thought that in the long run, it wasn't for me. It might be for you because a lot of people enjoyed the film. Not myself. But I think if you're into this sort of period piece weirdness, like art house weirdness, and I like art house weirdness, but not this one. I think you might enjoy it. So if you liked The Witch, then I think this is probably in your wheelhouse. So with that, I would give the rating for this film a 5 simply for I don't know if I would have given it less because 5 is solid just for what kind of art direction it has. That's solid art direction and music and all that stuff. So that's why I would give it a 5 and nothing less than that. A 5 out of 10, finding that nice old water ravine that everybody's going to drink from and leaving them a big surprise. And with that, this has been the Horror Deconstruction.
The HorrorDeconstruction.